not want to be here.
Oh, Dante.
I'm stoked that Robbie's
Dante,
here,
what
man.
did you do?
He'll cushion the blow.
Dude, I don't know. I woke up today and it was just bad news from the jump. I shouldn't have got out of bed.
Dante. Oh, hold on. Oh, God. Oh, no, Dante. Oh, no, Dante. Hi, Dave.
What do you all know on him being a cocksucker?
Yeah, that's literally what I'm knowing.
Yeah.
I will tell the background on this. This morning, we're talking about getting shit done. We're doing things. I get a text from Robbie Fox that says, "Oh, no, Dante, the unnamed show." And I was like, what happened? Like, of all things. And then I tuned in. Dave, let's start with you. Your thoughts.
I don't know what part we're talking about. I got an email originally from Gaz just being like, we go to, Barstool Backstage and we tell them, you guys are using videos that we are consistently getting sued for. I tell them we're getting sued for them. Dante ignores it. They don't take them down. And which is crazy. It's like we're doing it out of the goodness of it. Like, we don't want to take videos down, but you're just not listening to the music laws. And so that started it. And I talked to Dante. It's fine. He's like, well, I don't understand it. It's like, I don't understand it either, but I'm telling you how it is. Like, they're super strict. They're ambulance chasing, and it's like a lot of money, and we're getting sued. So, like, if we're saying you can't use it, you can't lose it. Fine. Don's like, I didn't get it. We won't fuck that up again. Blah, blah, blah. Fine. That I thought was buried under the hatchet. Like, and then during the unnamed show, like, Michelangelo, a little fucking rat, is like tweets about Storm Chasers, which right now is Moobs and Smelly, who's asked by Sales, will you do this? Because Sales can sell those two because advertisers love them. And like, I wouldn't have had them do it. It's a franchise that like Caleb and Roan started. I didn't even know they could ask, but Moves, because she's fucking awesome and says yes to like everything Sales asked. She's like, all right, we'll go do it. We'll travel country, do it. Michelangelo, for some odd reason that I don't really fucking know, tweets like, and I got fired from this company. Yeah, Michelangelo, they're about 100 million, trillion, billion more times valuable than you could ever be in your wildest dreams to Barstool. I have nothing against Michelangelo, but you're just going to take a shot out of left field for no reason. And then Dante retweets it. Dante's like, yeah, so it's like, fuck you, Dante. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why are people taking shots at two of our employees who like are trying to be good soldiers and like, yeah, okay, Sales, we'll help you out and go on the road and do this. And Dante's answer is like, oh, I was fucking high. I don't know why I did. All right, well, you're a fucking fuckface then.
Agreed.
Yes,
Dante.
yes, huge mistake. I own it. I obviously knew nothing about the backstory. I feel even worse now because you're 100% right. I called, or they called me, talked it out. That said, dude, Michelangelo isn't chopped liver. He was pretty fucking talented.
At what? At what? Producer, get out of here. He couldn't even do the rundown for me. I had to be like, buddy, if you want to go make some fucking indie Scorsese flick, go do that where they make indie Scorsese flicks. Don't turn the rundown into some fucking black and white fucking like editorial thing. If he was as good as you think he is or valuable to us, he wouldn't have gotten caught up in the layoffs. But like, we're not a feature film fucking, organization. Like, that's not what we do. So what he wanted to do, which is make artsy fartsy fucking films, just cut the fucking video and get the jokes out. All right.
Fair. Okay.
Yo,
and by the way, I'm not gonna say anything, but you can't come out of nowhere and just like it. That's an asshole tweet he did. What did fucking Moobs and Smelly do to you?
Dante, your thoughts?
I really have egg on my face. I feel like an asshole. They're nice girls. They are doing something that they were asked to do, like Dave said, which I didn't know earlier, but it doesn't change anything. And I woke
You
up
think
today.
they were? You think they were sitting around be like, we want to fucking go do storm chasers?
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great context, and I mean, the people who are bashing them on social media should know that because
Well, yeah, trolls and brain dead people
yeah,
who were like they're
yeah,
gonna fucking trash her no matter what. It's like fine if she's not your cup of tea. Like I'm not joking when she's like one of the more valuable, productive people we have, and she should say no. Like a lot of our talent would be like, no, I don't want to fucking go do that. But like she's like, yeah, you want me to go do it? Take one for the team. I'll go do it.
Has
yeah.
anyone
So
ever thought that maybe Dante is every single Reddit burner? Like
Yeah,
maybe
that's what
Dante
it
is
is.
single-handedly the Reddit.
no,
It he's
I fucking hate Reddit.
like who
Hate
just
it.
wakes up in his high. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go trash these. As Moob said, she's like, Dante, I don't even fucking know you. Like what? Like what's your
Yeah,
problem with me?
I don't know her either. I have no. I've
Yeah,
never met her.
she's not the one tweeting about you being a shitty guy.
You know what
Do
the
you
best
think
part?
you should not have a Twitter, Dante?
Yes,
I think
that should be the
your
new
life
rule.
would be so much easier if you just didn't have Twitter.
I think I'm getting rid of it for Lent. I think I'm taking a social
There we
media.
go. That's what we needed.
Yeah.
Jesus. You know what's funny?
And by the
dude?
way, I shouldn't say like I don't hate like Michelangelo's making me hate him because like I get defensive about that stuff. Like I didn't have like I don't have a vendetta against Monkey Face. So what like I when I get called about that, it's like I don't give a fuck. They want to release it. Like I don't give a flying fuck about the 2 Franks or like all this stuff that you want to go for like a feature Oscar film for a silent like I don't give a fuck. Like it didn't work out here, but you come out of the clouds, be like, how do I not have a job, but Moobs does? Well, Moobs is like one of the more popular fucking people on like TikTok. You fucking idiot.
Dante.
I will say, horrible timing. Moobs and Smelly Kelly are in a commercial with Sydney Sweeney.
Jesus
today.
Christ, Dante.
They just put it out.
Nice.
The timing of that is insane. They're literally Sydney Sweeney, Mooby, Smelly Kelly.
And timing
That's
is the name of the game on all of this. Because I said this a million times. We've had moments on this podcast that have been huge. We've done good numbers on certain things. And then we have one fucking week where we're all busy and we put out a random goddamn interview. And then Dante does this shit. And then what do I see on the fucking Unnamed show is a screenshot of that.
And
Thank you,
Dante's like, I wish you told me that you wanted me on the Unnamed show. I didn't even see the Michelangelo tweet till it was brought up mid thing, and then it's like Dante retweet. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's just I don't get I don't get that aspect of like just why anyone would like who works for us retweet like, yeah, Michelangelo, you're right, you should be here, but fucking Moobs and Smelly
We're trying to
shouldn't.
figure it out too, Dave. We have no idea why.
I have been supporting the Monkey Boy stuff. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it came out really good.
is,
I
but
thought everyone did a good
You're
job.
missing the
And,
point.
dude, I listen. I took too big of an edible trying to fall asleep last night. I did a bunch of dumb shit on Twitter. I woke up today and was like, what the fuck did I do this? I unretweeted it. But obviously somebody saw it and screenshot or something. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
Also, to be
I'm
fair,
not trying to start shit with people who I don't even know and who are.
And by the way,
beneficial
it
to the
puts me in a
company.
thing because they're not like I actually think their podcast is pretty unique, like them too and Ray. And I've said that. I've told guys like there's something. I'm not always right. The way they talk, it's like there's something that does keep my attention, which is hard to do. So it's like I think they're talented, and it's like, why would our own company want to tear down like up and comers who are like hot? I don't know. It's just I'll never get it. I guess because we're high and Dante's a fucking crazy fucking motherfucker. And I knew it. Like, what? First of all, when Gaz sent the stuff, I'm like, Dante's not going to agree, but whatever. And then I don't even know who brought it up on the Unnamed. I don't know. Like, I didn't see the Michelangelo. I think I don't go looking for trouble. Like, I don't want to see Michelangelo like pick a fight with us. And then when I call him, he'll be like, I have no problems with Barstool. I like you guys. It's like, well, like that's
No,
kind of
Dave.
like you're picking a fight.
Dave, the copyright stuff, I get, but I don't get at the same time. Like, I obviously know if we post something that has vetted music or an official song, shit like that, I know obviously we're asking to get sued. The thing that I'm confused on, and I brought it up to you, is I see the stuff these other media companies post nonstop all day long that has like a live clip at a live show that isn't an official song. It's like background music, or it's like cut off before the lyrics start or something like that. That's the stuff that I honestly, I didn't know or think we can get in trouble for. And that's the stuff Gaz is sending and being like, yo, we're going to get sued. We're going to get sued. We're going to
Yeah,
get sued.
because
So
we are like it's nuts, and it's not whether you understand it. Because I don't. Some companies may not have been hit yet, but all of them are going to get it. They're going after like everybody.
And some people may have clearances, A, and B, live shit doesn't matter. It's the timing. If it's like whether there's lyrics or not, it's like a certain amount of time.
It's not even the time that's changed. Like
Has it?
we've gotten like for the dozen
Yeah.
where Jeff D. Lowe plays like 3 seconds of a song. We've gotten hit with that.
Yeah.
I will say, in defense of us, we have been good in communication with rights and clearances to make sure that if we post anything, like on our podcast, that it is cleared. And also, we have communication with other people. Like, we are doing our best. I am following Dante around the internet, trying to make sure whatever he posts.
Well, I don't. It might like maybe it's the Instagram page. Like Gaz sent me. It's like Tate McRae like singing a song. Like that's clearly not legal to post.
I don't think Dante should be held responsible for that because he cannot control his love for Tate
Just
McRae.
take his phone.
Yeah, just take his phone. That's the only option here. Put a
Well,
dog
his
not
answer is generally which I knew it was gonna be is like, well, I don't understand it. All right, well, like that'll be my defense when they're like, you owe $10 billion. Like, well, Dante didn't understand it, so I guess we don't have to pay. Dante was high. Dante was high. It doesn't
No,
count.
it is. Dante was high.
So it doesn't count.
We are cleaning that aspect up. I will guarantee you that will be taken care of, as it has been attempted to be. Go ahead, Kenny.
All I know is Dante getting chewed out by Dave is gonna do wonders for our
Yeah,
numbers. This
yo,
is-
get off that 48 views, baby. Compounding interest. We're
we wanna
going
see
up.
50.
We're going up. The fuck? This is a good day.
I am actually glad, not under the circumstances that this convo is happening, but since we're talking about rights and clearances, Dave, this is something that we have been working with Kamo on for like since Erica was with us. Erica put us in touch with Kamo and was like, we need to figure out clearances and syncs because it's the future of, content. And if we aren't allowed to use music, we're in a shitty position. Kenny, who's above me in the middle right here, is a world famous producer for shows like SpongeBob SquarePants and shit. So he literally
Throw him out there.
all day sits in his studio and makes songs and shit for TV shows.
You may have heard "Come a La La Love" by White Sox fans. May or
Yeah,
may
that's-
not have
that's
heard.
Kenny's most famous song.
What is your point?
What is your point?
So
Dante?
my point is, we were working with Kate to do this kids show that now Jerry has picked up and Jerry is doing because we were going to help her create original music, basically put together a music library for Barstool to use all the content, all the shows that need music and need unlicensed shit. We were going to build them this library. Kamo loved the idea. Erica loved the idea. Erica left. Things kind of like fell in a weird position with Kamo. She didn't want to rock the boat or get ahead of herself. So that convo like stalled, and we've been in like this holding pattern the last year, wondering where the fuck things are going to go. We've talked to Gaz. Gaz is like, you got to talk to Dave. You got to talk to Dave. You got to talk to Dave. And I haven't wanted to.
You can use all the unlicensed and free music you want.
Cool. Love that.
Cool. Can we get paid for it?
Paid for what?
Our guy Colin up here, who produces our shows and does all our shit.
Not for your own show. You're saying if Barstool uses music that you guys have made, will we pay you for the music?
I think what Dante,
Essentially, yes.
I think what Dante's saying is the idea of creating a music library for Barstool and doing more stuff on the back end for you guys as well.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, there's tons of free music out there.
Correct. Yeah,
So
I mean,
how's your free music going to be different than the free music that we can already use?
I think it's in talking with some of the guys in the background, like in production and stuff like that, like custom stuff for different shows and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, you make good shit. I mean,
But then you also
how
own
about
IP.
this? How about we create a bank that goes against how much I'm going to pay for the stuff you've been sued for, and then we can chip away at how much you have actually cost me by ignoring the advice. And then once we get back to even, which will be never, we can start paying you.
You go, Dante.
Well, instead of
What
using
about
the free
what?
stuff online, you can own the
Where
IP
does
and own all those.
where
rights.
does that line up with all the money I made the company before you became rich?
You mean the Blackout tour?
Yeah,
We probably ended up even on that.
please.
Yeah, we've had this discussion. You live in a fantasy world. Do you remember the end of the Blackout tour?
Yeah,
How many people are showing up?
Ooh, Dante.
Tens.
Ooh,
That pause
Dante.
was so bad. That pause was an argument
It
ender.
was up and no, it was up and down.
It was
We had-
way
we had-
down. It was way down, and the costs were way up.
Yeah, that's. I mean, true. I mean, it
Oh
was
my
a
God.
fucking 4-year run.
Yeah, but we started
Or three and a
small.
half year
We
run.
probably had like 1 year run of max, and then we went bigger, and it failed. Like I had venues that I canceled the show and lost hundreds of thousands of dollars because we had dates.
Yeah, it got going to the super big rooms, like the 5,000 person rooms. Not a great idea, but yeah, the end of it,
Well,
not so great.
yeah, I mean, somebody was paying for those rooms.
Dante's a great litigator. This is good. Dante's a great
Yeah.
argument
He's
guy.
like, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, you know what? Good idea. Fuck yeah.
Listen, we had 3 extremely successful years. We managed.
Yeah, but what
to
you're
keep
making
the lights on
and what you're making at like by the time you realize you're successful, you've already negotiated, locked in, done everything for probably that year and the next year. So when you're like, okay, we have something, and you try to ramp it, and ours failed. So when we went in the biggest is when it failed.
Dante, your thoughts?
I don't want to live in the past. I was just bringing up.
Oh my
I was
God,
just bringing
Dante.
up. I was just bringing up a point that hey, this company isn't where it is today if it's not for the Blackout tour. We're not able to expand to the other cities. Not able to.
No,
bring
that
Big
that
Cat
that
in.
that there's an element of truth to that.
All right. Well,
So-
there you go, Dante. You got 1 point over. I think past all of this, obviously, we're going to be corralling Dante in. Like, that's a large goal for us.
I think it's an easy like rule of thumb that like don't attack employees in Barstool that you have zero interaction with. Like it's one thing to like go back and forth with people in your circle, but just to be like, yeah, that fucking moves and smelly. Like what the fuck? Because Michelangelo tweeted it because he's mad Monkey Boy didn't go fucking wide. Come on.
We'll circulate an internal memo.
Yeah.
No,
all right.
noted. But I like. Can we have a further conversation about putting together something to help take these fines and all this shit? Like, if we have syncs and licenses in place with these labels, they aren't suing us. So it's one of these like, if we're proactive about it, which we have all these relationships.
How
I know
labels?
I know
It's
you
not.
think-
It's not the labels, Dante. The labels. It's the lawyers. It's the lawyers who own it. It's not even the labels. You get something from the label, they don't give a fuck. You get permission from the musician, they don't give a fuck. It's the lawyers.
Is it like the private equity, the people who own the stuff over the
Yes.
top? Yeah, I thought so. So that's where it gets tricky because everybody's selling their catalog and they own the music over the top. And they're trying to recoup on things that they bought.
But at the same time, when we're getting pushed artists from like Sony, Warner Chappell, and all these people to do like,
It's
you know,
crazy. It makes no
sessions-
sense.
No, totally. But even if that's the case, then at least we have them on our side to talk to the lawyers as a middleman to potentially. There's a bridge here between copyright infringement and Barstool Backstage and the
'cause-
connections.
And they're
Dave.
not even real like infringements. There's like nuts of stuff. It's like I told Dante, they would argue that because it's commercial. Like if you go to Instagram and they have that plugin for music, they'll say
Mhm.
that's illegal, and it's
Yeah,
in the
that was-
Instagram like T's and C's. You can't use it for commercial use,
Yep.
and it seems
So
nuts.
Pup
But
Punk,
like,
Pup
I
Punk
don't
can't
think
do covers without getting them licensed now. Like when
It's
we
true.
covered Freebird, we had to license that from Leonard Skinner for the year.
That's nuts.
it's crazy. And in court, just me being like, well, Dante doesn't get it. Like that's not going to hold up.
It's fair. I think what Kenny is saying though is if there is anything on the back end where like if we can go to anybody we know it with the relationships that we've created through this, we can do that. But
we have seats at the table at nearly all the majors, and that doesn't mean much until something means something.
I think
but
most of the copyright stuff I'm seeing isn't what's on this podcast. It's what's being posted on the Instagram.
correct.
Yeah, totally. And that's, and that's in theory, that's an easy fix, but getting the clearances is a harder fix, but something that's still doable. I feel like with our connections and our networking and our seats at the table, I think.
Yeah.
Is where
Yeah, I
those
mean,
two
Dave,
align.
they come to us with
Dante doesn't know
the
how to
guests
present
that we
this
have
shit.
on.
He doesn't know
Yeah,
how to
it's a
No, but
bad
they come to us
presentation.
with the guests they have on the show, and they're like, "Can you use their new song?" That's
Yeah,
coming
right.
out?" And
But
we're
like we had that on BFFs where we'd have the music guest and like they'd be like, yes, and we'd still get like, well, it's like you saying you have permission for something at Barstool that you don't. Like it's crazy. And it's
Yeah.
just they're like ambulance chasers. It's a bad spot right now, and like they're going after and they just
and that's
add
why,
to the list.
That's why pitch companies, sync companies are always looking for uncovered music, people who don't have distribution licenses or any type of writing deal. And that's kind of where that sound library can come in. Whereas opposed to like renting an exclusive use for a song or whatever, you just own the IP outright. So anything that song does on any of the platforms is all Barstool. Point being, there's seats at the tables at majors. There's free music to be made for Barstool IP, so on and so forth. There's an interesting connection potentially for future growth.
Yeah.
Dante
Came-
is not
Came-
great. Dante, you stop for a
You
second.
stop. You shut the
I mean,
fuck
the
up.
more he talks, the less, I
That's
like
what
want
I'm
anything to
saying.
do with anything.
Reining
No.
in the post with copyright, that's whatever. But having the seats at the table, having diamond and platinum producers on this cast, being able to make free and clear music that Barstool would own the IP, there is a conversation there, I think, for Barstool to cover a lot more of the music world and spread its wings a little bit. That's where my brain is.
Yep.
And Dante, that's how you should say that.
And yeah, from now on, I will duct tape Dante's mouth shut gladly. Like if we're gonna have an actual conversation, I will hold Dante's mouth shut. I don't give a shit. But
Yeah, he's a bad look.
we're aware, we know. But yeah, no, it's over the time we've built this thing, like we've made connections with everybody, and that's been the one thing we've been building towards. It's all been on the side. It's all just building connections.
And I also do think that if we're able, because of the seats at the table, to do something with an artist, with their music, that wouldn't only spread for this podcast, but those licenses could spread, across other platforms that Barstool has as well. So there's a lure in that pond, I think, with us.
Yeah,
Those majors.
and we'll make Dante shut up.
that's the best part. All right.
Yeah.
See you, Dave. Hell yeah.
Dante's gone too?
Dante. Oh wait, I shut Dante out.
Yo,
I was like, Dante's got no
Yeah,
post
Yo,
press.
the fucking
press
headline
conference?
for this podcast is Dante gets chewed out. We're gonna get 1 million views.
Listen,
Yeah, this will be good views. Dave always brings the views.
This will
I
be
thought-
great views.
All
Thank
right.
you, Dante, for taking
All right,
it.
that went
few
well.
things. Few things. I got 2 minutes. Then I have to hop on a PR call. So one, whatever. I'm sacrificial lamb. I thought it was going to be way worse than that.
Sacrificial lamb? Who
Two.
you did this to
Where you
yourself. You sacrificed.
Two.
You're the lamb that's like, hey, I'm the sacrificial lamb. Come get me.
Two, Robbie, why aren't you hitting me up? Why are you hitting Colin up about this stuff? Why aren't you like, yo, idiot?
I figured you were
Fuck up.
listening to the unnamed show, you
No.
dope. Why weren't you
No.
listening? You're
No,
like,
I was
I'm the
moving mulch.
you're like,
I was
I'm the most
moving
old
mulch. I
school
missed-
Barstool guy. I know Dave. You should know there's 1 hour a week. We got to be paying attention to Dave. How could you miss it's 45 minutes a week.
It's
We
like
got
a
to pay
business
attention to
meeting.
Dave. It's crazy.
Actually,
It's like
Actually-
a internal meeting.
They
actually,
spent
good
30
point.
minutes of the show this week being like, is he going to join? Is he going to join? Like 30 minutes of the show was spent waiting to see if you were going to pick up the phone.
I mean, what do you think?
So
It's probably
I think
good
it was
thing that
I think it was
it's
an
probably a good thing I
incredibly
missed the
valid
call.
text to Colin, like, hey, your boy's either dead or he's about to be dead.
I was going to pick up things from Target, And
I've been moving mulch all day.
I turned off the show because I heard get Dante on the line. And I was like, no, Dante, Jesus. And Robbie texts me. He's like, yo.
Well, it's also like if he's not responding to Dave and Austin, is Dante going to respond to my text and be like,
Probably
I'm just
not.
ignoring him? Haha.
All right.
Like, what?
All right.
Can we also put it
All
out
right.
there that I
Fair
talk to
point.
Portnoy about business shit now?
That was good. That was smooth.
Well, at least like instead of him shit talking, he goes, Like, yeah, just listen to somebody who knows what they're fucking talking about.
Yeah, great job, guys.
Thanks,
It all went according to plan.
Listen,
You're
I
welcome.
got to say my piece, and I think it actually entered his brain, and a couple nuggets started moving.
I finally get Colin to stop blowing me up every week. Like, when are we going to talk to Portnoy? When are we going to talk to Portnoy? And again, of course, who's not here? Who's not on the call?
He's on a plane. It's not his fault.
Yeah.
I wish we
Dude,
could have
that's
talked
fine.
about Kamala Love a little bit more.
Yeah, you're right. We should have. Dave has a lot of fucking comments.
I know.
that.
I really wanted to know Portnoy's fucking initial thoughts, like the very first thing you thought when you saw Dave with wings shirtless.
Jesus Christ. All right, Dante. Well, if you got to go, you got.
Yeah, I got to jump.
We'll finish this up quickly because I do have things to actually talk about from the music industry. Dante, also read my text message I just sent you.
Don't care.
Bye.
Why?
All right, Robbie.
What a
how
guy.
are you?
He's one of a kind. He is one. And you know what was my favorite? I wish I mentioned this. My favorite Dante thing today. He goes radio silent during the entire Unnamed show. His last tweet was about the White Lotus. They're like, is he watching the White Lotus? What's going on? Where is this guy? His next tweet an hour later, when the entire internet's looking for him, it's like Chuck Norris can choke you out with a cordless phone. What? A joke from 2006?
Trust me. I know. It's insane. Let's talk about some music stuff as my dog freaks out in the background. Robbie.
Yo, Robbie.
Go ahead.
Have you heard the new Architects record? I haven't listened to it yet, but I thought that you may have.
No, I haven't heard the new Architects. Tell you what, I've been nonstop playing the new Anxious. You listen to Anxious?
Really? I haven't given that one a spin yet either.
Dude,
I've heard that the
really
Architects record
good.
is their best record yet. That's what I've heard.
Really?
Which is why
I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah.
I'll check that out for sure. That and the new Winona Fighter. Have you heard of Winona Fighter?
Oh, yeah.
Love their new album. I think it's badass.
Fantastic.
There's a couple things that Robbie specific I wanted to go over. Robbie, countdown to Oasis. Where are you at?
120 days, I believe, today. Today marks like 4. I have it set on my. So I have it set, but it's set for like 8 p.m. Welsh time. You know,
Right.
So it's like midday every day. It'll go down to 119 today, but yeah, can't wait. Dante says he's coming. He keeps saying he's coming, and then Nate will tweet because me and Nate got our tickets together. I don't know how Dante got his tickets, but Nate will tweet like, Robbie, how many days? And then Dante gets so mad at him for not also tagging him.
It's like having a Rottweiler that you know what I mean? Like it really is. Other than that, Alanis Morissette, Vegas residency. Are you getting tickets to that?
I don't know, but I think I'll be in Vegas during it because of UFC. And I would try to plan. I've seen Alanis Morissette live now twice in the last 2 years. Fucking fantastic.
She's unbelievable.
Times. Tears the house down.
Yeah. She's fucking
She really is all time. Dude, honestly, I heard somebody recently say like they lump a lot of like the 90s like female artists together. Dude, Alanis Morissette's a step above everybody else. I don't want to hear that. That's nonsense.
Dude,
nonsense.
When she does Uninvited live to this day and that band breaks into that fucking like Led Zeppelin inspired breakdown, it's so badass. She's on Glastonbury too.
Yeah, well, I was going to bring up
the Little Pill Radio on Spotify. You're going to have the best time.
Yes.
I mean, dude, the Glastonbury lineup is incredible. It's
really good.
Glastonbury is such a big lineup that they alphabetize the undercard artists. So like a band like Weezer was in the small print.
I noticed Weezer. Yes, that was the first small print name I noticed. It was like, when was the last time Weezer was a small print name?
I was so confused on that. That was awesome. Glastonbury to me is the best festival in the world. Glastonbury is my number one that I want to go to. I would play in a heartbeat. Glastonbury is the peak festival in the world. And they always have a great mix of artists. I'm surprised Sam Fender's not on. Good.
Yes and no. Yes, because of the artist and the lineup and the vibe and all that stuff. No, because you can't find me a sunny, beautiful day in the UK any time of year. If you want to go to a dark, cold, and wet festival full of mud, Glastonbury is your shit. I'm just
The
saying
flags
there's
can
also
serve as
festivals
umbrellas,
like Bottle
right?
Rock. There's also festivals like
Yes.
Bottle Rock that have epic lineups in Napa fucking Valley.
Well,
So,
yeah. You're
Glastonbury's
bougie,
good.
though. You're bougie.
That's bougie. Napa Valley festivals are
Talk about
bougie.
bougie. The one and only time I played Bottle Rock, I'll never forget seeing one of those silent discos.
Yeah.
And it was just a bunch of people
Yeah.
in the forest, just quiet.
Yeah.
Just fucking doing their thing.
Robbie, question for you. This is an Oscars question. Do you think Chalamet got gypped by not getting the Oscar? First of all, did you see A Complete Unknown?
Yes, and I'm not I like never was a Dylan guy my
Yeah.
entire life. Never even intrigued me. Chalamet starts doing the press for this movie, and I bought in just like every 26-year-old man in the country. It was like, Chalamet's the man. And the way he was talking about Dylan, and you could tell he was a legit fan. I went and listened to the entire audiobook that the movie was based on.
Mhm.
So I got a lot of background, and I really appreciated that. I liked the movie a lot. I think I like the movie more than most people. It is a generic kind of music biopic, but I like that genre. I thought he was better in Dune 2 than he was in A Complete Unknown, but I was still like rooting for him to be the best actor. So like I thought he should have gotten it.
And I tell you, being old Chalamet on podcasts, on interviews, on SNL, like everything I see him in as a normal human makes me like him so much more.
Yes.
Oh, he's the man.
Like, he's fucking great.
And even the way he has actually brought Dylan music to my generation, it sounds silly, but he's actually done a good job of getting this guy's music out there. I didn't care about Bob Dylan before. And since the movie, I'll throw on Dylan every now and then. And I said to my fiance the other day, I had a moment where I was in the shower and something came on. I was like, I think I like this.
Oh, so
oh
you,
my
had,
God.
you had your Radiohead moment.
Yeah, exactly.
You figured it out.
Yeah, and I haven't had my Radiohead moment for Radiohead yet, but I did have it for Dylan.
I had my Radiohead moment for another band last week, and it was the Beach Boys.
Love the Beach
welcome,
Boys.
welcome, dude, to Paradise.
I went in, I was driving, and I put on Pet Sounds. There it was.
I have it back there. It's in that stack somewhere.
It's unbelievable.
I play Beach Boys for my kids and stuff.
See, I only play Wu-Tang for my son. That's the only thing I play.
Semester of Pet Sounds in college.
Really?
New Wu-Tang tonight, by the way.
But Wu-Tang Final Tour with Run the Jewels was my other thing I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
That's it. The last show's in Philadelphia. The last show's in Philadelphia.
That doesn't seem right. How is the last show not in New York?
Right. Shouldn't it be?
Do they even finish this tour is the question? Because they tend to be a group that shows up in pieces. Like, does everybody show up on time?
What do you get when you have 25 people in a group?
That's agreed. It's herding cats. Other festival to talk about: Firefest 2 happening, not happening. I've hit up Billy McFarland.
I saw an article today from like The Island people being like, there's no festival.
I'm going to tend to believe people that aren't Billy McFarland, but at the same time, who knows?
He was at the Barstool office trying to pitch shit to Dave, like after Fire, like I think pre-Firefest, maybe, and Dave knew he was a con artist right away. Like Dave wouldn't even take a meeting with him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not out here trying to can't hold water for fucking Billy McFarland, but it is funny. We can have that.
Oh, it's totally funny. The whole thing's funny.
Would you go if you got tickets? If it's happening?
No,
I'm not trying to get stranded there for days.
Yeah, it's a good story.
Well, if Oasis is headlining, I'm thinking about it.
That would be some weird shit they would do. Liam's like, he's paying me, I'm going to do it. Other than that, the other festival that got announced was the return of Warped Tour. I don't know how you guys feel about this because Kenny, I know you were a Warped Tour kid. Robbie, this is more up your alley. How do we feel about it?
Go ahead.
I'm ambivalent to it because I feel like Warped Tour in the late 90s, early 2000s was kind of the brand, kind of the thing. Give about it coming back. That said, look, okay, that sounds fun, but I feel like When We Were Young Fest has taken over what Warped Tour would be today. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm kind of ambivalent about it. Like there's great bands like from like 311, Day to Remember, Black Bear, fucking Bowling for Soup, Drain, my fucking favorite, Fever. There's a lot of good bands on here, but there's no Lagwagon. There's no more No Effects. There's no more, swinging.
Yeah, I mean it's not the same thing.
Yeah,
You're also not getting a $10 ticket.
That's what I was gonna say. It feels like a tribute to Warped Tour more than it's like Warped Tour's back. It's like, no, we're doing a festival that's a tribute to the old days of Warped Tour. Because the appeal was you're getting a ticket for $20 and every band that you want to see is coming to your town.
Yeah.
You don't have to track. This is a 3-date thing. It's either California, DC, or Florida, I think.
So it's
like,
Florida, DC, Venice Beach, or something like that.
Yeah. So like I think it's cool, like for someone that loves all these bands, like I would love to go, but it doesn't feel like Warped Tour to me. Like Kenny said, it's like a When We Were Young is kind of a Warped, even a Sad Summerfest feels more Warped Tour like to me now, where that's a traveling thing at least, and it feels like a big festival that's coming to you. But yeah, it's weird.
Fest nailed it with the lineup because they were able to get back a lot of the old school bands from those original Warped Tour days. They kind of put it in with new people as well. I mean, there's like not really a lot of new people on the When We Were Young Fest, and I don't know. It seems, I don't want to call it disingenuous, but just kind of, whatever.
No, I mean, to me, it's cool. It's a good throwback, but like
if they would have booked Pop Punk, I would have been glazing it.
I mean, Robbie's easy, dude.
I got to play the very last Warped Tour ever.
Oh shit!
In LA. On the K-Rock stage, which was a good thing for me because I always wanted to play it as a kid.
Yeah.
And then I grew up and became successful in music, and then I finally got to play it.
Well,
the last one ever. Incredible.
All right, boys. Well, this was fun. This was enlightening. I think we're gonna put the brakes on it for today. I covered what I needed to cover. This was more about letting Dante.
I mean, this was about Dante and Dave, exactly. Yeah. Tell you what, before we end it, I wanted to tell you guys about this show I'm going to next week. It's an absurd show, but it's so up my alley. I'm going to see Ace Frehley, the original guitar player of Kiss, now 73 years old, at a venue where I'm going to sit down at a table and get dinner.
Oh my God.
He's going to be on stage and there is standing room, but like the sides, it's like if you want to pay $65 extra, you can get a fillet with this.
What do you like the Blue Note or something? Where are you going to be?
It's at Sony Hall
shows like
in New York. Which I've never been
to some shows like that. You're kind of eating your food.
Yeah.
For the guy
I sort of imagine it's going to be like, but it's going to be all old people, obviously. I'll be the youngest person there by a couple decades, but I'll listen to Shock Me and I'll fucking go nuts. I might face paint it up.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I got doesn't Frehley have a son that's getting famous?
Gene and Paul both have sons who are now making music together.
So I've worked with Paul's son a couple times.
Yes.
Evan. He is a fucking shredder.
Really?
I sent him a couple songs. He sent me guitars back, and you're like, never would have thought of that.
Shit. That's cool to hear.
Yeah, Evan Stanley. He's awesome.
To me, like, I don't know. As an artist who's played to people sitting down, it's the worst thing of all time. Because you're up there trying to give your all, and then you're like, yo, also, can we get a refill on ketchup at table 32?
Yeah. I'm hoping it's like a storytelling, kind of you could make it that kind of vibe. Yeah. The only other one, I saw All Time Low at City Winery last year. That was cool. But that was like, also a different vibe. They're joking with the crowd and eating cheese off people's tables.
Yeah.
And they're also probably playing the song slightly different.
All acoustic. Yeah.
Right. It's like
well, people are doing City Winery tours now to where they'll hit every City Winery in the country and do. Yeah, Rustin Kelly just did it. G Love just did it. Like a lot of people are doing.
I saw Mark Roberts at City Winery too, and that was great.
Goat, love him.
So good, yeah.
Well, good luck with Ace Frehley.
Thanks. Yeah, I wanted to tell you guys because everyone I tell it to, they're like, "Why would you go to that show?" I'm like, "Because it's gonna be awesome."
You have to.
Awesome. Yeah. Are you gonna be?
Yeah, if he's on stage,
I could fucking
all right, boys. Well, that was lovely.
All right,
we gotta reel Dante in. We have to do it.
We just got to take his Twitter away. Like Dante in person, he doesn't really get himself into trouble ever. No. He goes on Twitter, he smokes a little weed or he takes an edible, and he's a different man. It's like the Winter Soldier's activated.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, grab his phone.
Yeah,
Truth Social. Truth Social is the answer.
He needs like the Creed thoughts.
Yes.
Like he just needs a Microsoft Word.
Yeah. There's the answer, boys.
He's like, it's just a Word document.
Yeah. www.creed thoughts. www.creed thoughts. That's what we need.
Dante the Don thoughts.
That's amazing. All right,
dark
boys.
Place. All right, boys.
All right.
Adios.
You guys.